do and you want to check out a psychological film, that's a movie for you. So now I think my co-host has something to talk about, so I'm going to turn it over to Priscilla. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this Joe Flynn show. Right, Simon?
We're going to hear from Simon later on. But I think, Joe, I'm going to have to step into the frame of mind of a reviewer and get into reviewer zone and basically be objective. When it comes to The Stepfather, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. I was really, really disappointed. You know, when I saw the original Stepfather with you want
Terry O'Quinn, the guy from Lost.
When I saw the original Stepfather, I found it to be chilling. I mean, suspenseful and chilling. Of course, it didn't scare me like traditional horror would scare me, but it was very creepy. Unfortunately, I didn't like anything about this new remake.
She was the one who told me to go see it.
Well,
and when my co-host tells me to go see a movie, usually it's either gonna be good or it's gonna suck. So I didn't know she was gonna take that term, so I'm sorry, stepfather.
Well, we are in review mode right now. So in review mode, it doesn't matter who makes the movie. It could be my mother making the movie. We are objective and true. So yeah, I was completely disappointed with The Stepfather. I don't believe... Dylan Walsh, I believe his name is Dylan Walsh. I don't believe he portrayed the amount of talent that the original Terry O'Quinn had. And I sat through the whole thing because I was hoping that at least with the death scenes and the action and basically everything that the movie was built up to be would at least entertain me. And it didn't. And, you know, not to even knock on remakes anymore, because these remakes Joe has told me about occurring. He told me 5 years ago he had this 3-page list of remakes that were going to happen, and they've been happening, and they're not going to stop happening. But it's not even a matter of it being a remake anymore to me. I mean, when I watched Last House on the Left, the remake, no, I don't think it was a very good remake of the original Last House on the Left, but the ending was entertaining. You know, the fact that the victim swam so far and all of that occurred to finally meet up at the house and she survived all that, it was still entertaining and had a lot of action and suspense. And I felt that The Stepfather lacked all of those things. So I actually don't recommend seeing it in the movie at all. And I'm going to go as far as saying don't even watch the DVD. I would recommend to watch the original on this one because it is chilling. The acting is more convincing. I was just a little bit disappointed with Dylan Walsh because it wasn't convincing enough. I mean, when he was being a good guy and the good husband and father, he still didn't seem like he was being good, you know? Yeah. He basically seemed to have played the same bad guy character throughout the whole movie, from beginning to end. So with his type of role, I think it would have been more chilling if he was believable as a nice guy. But he was never really believable as the nice guy. So to me, the suspense part would have came in if it was a surprise for him to turn bad. So that's what it lacked for me. Here you go.
Okay, real quick. I agree with Priscilla on some of it because, yeah, Dylan Walsh, thank you. I couldn't remember his last name, the guy from Nip Tuck. What it is, yeah, his character, you know, it starts off with him just like, okay. And then, of course, you have the nosy, busybody neighbor who claimed, oh, have you watched America's Most Wanted? The guy that you're dating looks like he's on that. And, and then, of course, the death scenes, No, they didn't. There weren't any major surprises. The death scenes weren't really all that impressive because, there's only so many, ways you can die in a horror film and without, and then of course, I agree, I'm not 100% happy with the ending with the movie, which I'm not going to give it away, but it does lead up to a possibility of another sequel like the original Stepfather did and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'll tell you this much. If you don't want to see it in the theaters, I would say, okay, best bet, wait for DVD. Because I know sometimes movies can be expensive and you don't really want to go and blow your hard-earned cash on a movie that may not entertain you and stuff like that. And you might want to just separately wait for DVD. Because that's what I mostly do nowadays is I wait until DVD to see most of the films that are out in the theater unless it's something that I and Priscilla really want to go see. And then we'll go and we'll see it in the theater with the crowd, which, my friends, always say, it's always the best time to see it in the theater with a great crowd. And that's true, it is always fun. But, but if you look at some movies and you see the trailers and you see you gave us all the best parts of the movie. Do I really want to go see it now? I don't know. But again, as I want to say, it may not be the greatest movie remake ever. I'm not saying that. Some people might like it, some people may not. But yeah, it's always good to agree and disagree on certain films. Like maybe this next movie that we're going to be talking about called Grace.
Okay, so one more last dart for me to throw at the remake of The Stepfather. Basically, with the way technology is today, and the way that house was, and how much money that this world of people that were affected by The Stepfather seemed to be in touch with, the world that they lived in, basically, I think they would have figured out this guy was bad like that a lot quicker.